Garten of BanBan is another one of those low-effort games that try to ride off trends, copying the likes of Poppy Playtime and Bendy and the Ink Machine with their quote-unquote lovable-looking mascot characters.
Oh, hell no, man. What the fuck?
That would easily make sales on merch. Wink wink. Now, why am I specifically taking the dump on Garten of BanBan when my first video was on Poppy Playtime? Well, here's the difference. Enchanted Mob had a team of very talented game devs that actually put in the effort into their games, besides their controversies and scummy marketing technique. Now imagine a game without the effort and the talent, and what you get is a greedy asset flip that is called Garten of BanBan. Now hear me out. I wouldn't be complaining so much if the devs of Garten of BanBan put in some effort into the game, but after playing this mess, I felt the need to say something. So let's get into the meat of it. So now let's talk a little bit about these game devs. Looking into Euphoric Brothers, they've made around 8 games with one of them catching my eye. Egghead Grumpy. Now for those who've seen my earlier vids, I made one on Egghead Grumpy, and back then I was quite the NPC who would mindlessly praise everything in hopes of getting clout, of course. But checking out this video description, it was far from that. Even during a period where I would praise everything, I took a dump on this game as well. So let me read the description. Egghead Grumpy is a very frustrating horror game to play. Though in its demo state, a lot can be said about its playability. Firstly, the ability for the egghead to spawn on the other sides of door and quote-unquote watch is absolutely bonkers. To then spawn it right in the corner with less than half a second to react before dying, pathetic. To end it all off with falling through the map. I thought this was the backrooms already. I guess not. Now for context, this game played very badly and seemed to be an attempt at going for the backroom horror craze. Now with that in mind, it gives me a better idea on how to analyze the gameplay of Garten of BanBan, which we are gonna do now. In Garten of BanBan, the game features a prominent mechanic, the drone, which is just another store asset. The drone is used to press various buttons in order to progress through the game. However, upon examination of the controls and actions of the drone, it becomes clear that it was more of a gimmick than a well-designed feature. With slow and janky movement, the drone is by far the worst part of the game. The game dev included a way for the drone to teleport to the player, but the implementation is lazy and fails to deliver a true sense of being a mechanic. Furthermore, the drone is often unreliable and prone to failure. Oh, what a surprise! The button suddenly activates the moment he's here. Hello? Please press the button. Particularly during high tension moment, causing the death of its user. When played, there's typically a couple seconds delay to push a single button, which in itself is a game design flaw, and the game dev should have reconsidered a better concept. The level designs in this puzzle game are quite basic, and the solution doesn't require a brain blast to figure out. As I played through the game, it became clear that it lacks in the creativity department. With no unique usage of the game's core mechanic of using the drone, it's difficult to see how this game could be enjoyable. The supposed puzzles were nothing more than simple tasks, such as finding 6 eggs hidden in a room, which hardly qualifies as a puzzle. The best part about puzzle games is the creativity in solving them. But when the puzzle game itself lacks creativity, they become tedious to complete. It's like giving a math professor elementary math problems to solve. In my experience, the egg hunt puzzle in the game felt like it was solely used to fill up time without adding any meaningful content. It took me 20 minutes to find all 6 eggs before I could progress to the next puzzle. Unfortunately, the next puzzle was also a simple task of inputting the colors of the monsters and required me to go all the way back to the start of the game to find the individual colors of the monsters. This felt like another way to artificially extend the playtime. In comparison, the main game that Garten of BanBan is trying to emulate, Poppy Playtime, has puzzles that are more creative and require more thought rather than simply taking a long time to complete. Furthermore, the usage of invisible walls is frustrating at certain points of the game. Here's an example of it. Oh, how simple. Hello? Huh? The use of invisible walls can be detrimental to the overall experience and is yet again another lazy implementation by the game devs. A simple solution could be that the door was blocked by something or something to that extent. This would have prevented the death as shown before and wouldn't have resulted in any confusion. With this realization, it becomes clear that the game's true purpose is to make a quick buck. The simple gameplay and cute mascot characters are likely aimed at little children who can become quite attached to the main antagonist. This tactic is similar to other games like Poppy Playtime, which are used primarily as a cash grab. It is disappointing to see that the game is already selling merchandise when it appears to be nothing more than just a technical demo. And even worse, that they are already planning a sequel. Knowing that the main demographic is children, it raises concerns about the manipulation of young people to purchase merchandises. Although this is not an uncommon practice in the industry, it is still not something that should be taken lightly. I would have been less critical of the game if it had been well crafted and had some substance behind it, but unfortunately, it seems that Garten of BanBan is nothing more than just a cash grab, even worse than Poppy Playtime. I want to be clear that there is nothing wrong with selling merchandise, but when a game does not have any redeeming qualities in terms of aesthetic or gameplay, it becomes a difficult sell. The fact that they are already planning a sequel, it gives the impression that they are really not looking to improve the game, but rather to make a quick profit. In conclusion, Garten of BanBan is yet another low-effort game that tries to ride off the current trends. With its cute and marketable characters, it's clear that the primary focus is on making a profit through their merchandises. The developers, Euphoric Brothers, have a history of creating subpar games, and Garten of BanBan is no exception. The gameplay is poorly designed, with the drone mechanic being nothing more than just a lazy and unreliable gimmick. The level designs are simplistic and lack any real creativity. It's clear that the game's true purpose is to make money, rather than providing a truly enjoyable experience for the player. And as a consumer, it's important to be aware of these types of game, even if it is free. And yeah, I want to thank you for watching this video. Like and subscribe. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.